Hello everyone, and welcome to another week of football picks and predictions here with the Archfiend and Crixus. Something just so cataclysmic, so rare happened, and that is my Philadelphia Eagles won, and it was so earth-shattering, so just mind-boggling that it knocked the power out of my house. Like, literally, that's why I'm filming here in my car, because my house literally does not have power. And it was from the Eagles game. No joke. I shit you not. The win was that cataclysmic to the city of Philadelphia that it knocked the power out in the entire city. Anyways, I don't have power, so I'm filming this in my car here, and it's weird. It always seems to be like one of these football videos that I end up doing in my car. But anyway, I don't have the printout for what exactly I picked on week 14, and I'm going to be going off my phone here to give you the week 14 picks, and then week 14 review and the week 15 picks. And Crixus is going to be kind enough to just be over my shoulder the whole time, panting like a little son of a bitch. Isn't that right, Crixus? Isn't that right, Crixus? Isn't that right? Yeah, he's not very active today. The good news is he doesn't like being up in the front seat, so he can't jump around and attack me. Anyway, let's get to the games. You know what? I'm just going to start off with the Eagles, since I talk about them more than anything else. We'll just get them out of the way. The Eagles won. It was 23-21. They won in closing second fashion. No time left on the clock. And a lot of people come to me like they're like, well, what are you proud about? I mean, it's not like they're gonna have a chance to make the playoffs. It's not like this win really means anything. It's just, it's a worthless win and a worthless season. You ruined your draft selection for next year. And people saw me on Twitter celebrating. By the way, if you want to see me lose my mind, watch my Twitter during football games. Anyway, this is a good win for a number of reasons. One of which is Nick Foles has taken another step up in progression every single game he's played. Another thing about it is Andy Reid let Nick Foles call that final play to Jeremy Maclin. So, and on top of that, the play before that, where he hooks up to Jason Avant on that fourth drive play. By the way, Jason Avant had probably the game of his career with the Eagles. I wish he could show up that well, but who knows? Maybe, Foles and Avant will be that, 1-2 tandem. Anyway, to see him just take over and captain the team, for lack of a better term, to get in Jason Kelce's ear right before that fourth down pass to to Avant, where he goes to his center, and you see him going to Dallas Clark. I think I said Jason Kelce. That's the former center that was injured. Anyway, you see him going to Dallas Clark saying, look, if I go down the heart of the field with this pass, we got to get down there and spike the ball as fast as possible. And you see stuff like that, and that's something that you wouldn't see from Vic. Vic is just kind of a guy, he could pull out a game in the end, don't get me wrong. But see that capability of just to be on the ball like that, to just know what to do. And this is his 5th game in the NFL. I was very impressed. And I was someone who was down on Foles, who didn't see much of anything out of him other than a backup quarterback capability. But man, this guy does have the potential to be a solid starter. Potential. We'll see how it shakes out, though. Anyway, the Eagles win. I will celebrate this no matter what. A win is a win, and I'm happy to see this team win. I'm happy to see them end that 8-game losing streak. My God, was that a terrible time to be a follower of this team. Anyway, props to them. And again, they're beating a team that was a playoff contender. They're beating a team that, had a lot of players that weren't injured versus the Eagles had damn near every single position injured. And just, props to them. My hat is off to the Eagles, even though my hat's on. Anyway, solid game, and, who knows? Might actually get a winning streak out of this if they can beat the Bengals, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, going into Thursday night last week, we had Denver at Oakland. Denver, look out, they got themselves, 6 games? 6 games in a row, I think they won. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be one of your top contenders, especially with the weak performance that Houston put up on Monday night, but we'll get to that in a second. Peyton Manning is the shit. Sorry, my phone's blowing up while I do this video. St. Louis beat Buffalo in one of the Who Gives a Shit games of the week. St. Louis, well, actually, it's not so much a Who Gives a Shit game of the week. St. Louis is actually in playoff contention, if you can believe that. They're 6-6. Now, granted, that's a far shot to get into the playoffs, but they're in solid playoff contention. Yeah. Didn't I tell you guys this last week that I don't like Atlanta matching up against teams in their division? I said, but no, don't worry, Atlanta's the real deal. They're going to win this game. Oops. Sorry, Atlanta. I jinxed the shit out of that game for you. Carolina beats Atlanta 30-20. Cam Newton, Mr. Superman, pulled it off. And pulling out another ugly victory, we have... Oh, Girlfiend's pointing at something, trying to get Crixus to go nuts. Anyway, Dallas beat the Cincinnati Bengals 20-19. Dallas, I know it might just sound like I'm just like, a player hater of Dallas and all this, but with all due respect, Dallas has quite possibly the biggest collection of ugly wins in the NFL this year. Granted, I don't fear them making a run in the playoffs if they even get to the playoffs. But that is a team that it's so weird because the Dallas fans want so many changes in coaching and just personnel, but they keep winning these games like this. And then when you have an over 500 record, it's like, well, we can't really fire anyone. We gotta just keep the path. We can't jump off the horse in the middle of the stream, as the proverbial saying goes. Anyway,
Really?
Dallas, congratulations. Yeah, I shit you not, Girlfiend. I shit you not.
That's a saying?
Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
Anyway, Kansas City beat Cleveland. Excuse me, Kansas City lost to Cleveland 30-7. Cleveland Browns 4-game winning streak. Who would have thought that would happen? Crixus, where are you? Where are you, Crixus? No laying down on the job.
He's bored.
I'm paying him big bucks for this.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Girlfiend's just bitter because she knows that she has a female brain. Oh, okay, wait. We won't go down that route again. Anyway, yeah. Anyways, thank you for all the feedback on that video. Thank you for admitting that my answers were better than Girlfiend's, because they were. Anyway, but I'm talking about the last video about the 5 most annoying things in the world. Anyway, Jesus, I went off on a tangent there. Tennessee losing to Indianapolis 27-23. Andrew Luck has another win in the NFL. And by the way, Andrew Luck was so down when he threw that interception. His knees were clearly down, but anyway, I don't know how the refs blew that call, but oh well. I wanted the regular refs back. But it's one of those things where if Indianapolis lost that game, that blown call would have been so much bigger than it was. But again, doesn't matter. Indianapolis still won. New York Jets beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jets are in playoff contention. I cannot believe this. It's a toss-up between them and the Cowboys for what is the most undeserving team to be in a playoff contention spot right now. But anyways, again, that's just me player hating for not liking both those teams. Crixus! Are you lying down on the job again? Alright. Sorry, just trying to keep him awake here. It's very rude to fall asleep during one of my videos. Girlfiend does it all the time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Crixus saw him. Uh-oh. Anyway.
Go get the doggy.
Anyway, Crixus is gonna go nuts here because there's someone walking a dog in the background. Chicago losing to Minnesota. My God, Minnesota is on a tear, and Minnesota basically is staking that claim for that last wild card spot. I see Chicago potentially not even getting into the playoffs now because that team is just such a slop, and they're such a sloppy mess, and they're getting smacked around by everyone in their division. And Adrian Peterson, as much as I hate the Vikings for that Herschel Walker trade that we've gone over before, Adrian Peterson is quite possibly having one of the most phenomenal seasons that I've seen a running back have in the modern era here. And on top of that, after having major knee surgery last year, like it's ungodly what he's doing. It's obscene what he's doing. That's the type of play that Adrian Peterson is putting up there now. So, I may hate the Vikings, but I can root for someone like Adrian Peterson any day of the week. So, I hate that team, but good for you, Adrian Peterson, because you're basically 80% of the offense. Oh boy, Cam Cameron, bye-bye. Your job is done, gone, fired. Coach Harbaugh had to fire offensive coordinator Cam Cameron because Cousins had to come in the game for the Washington Redskins and lead them to an overtime victory over the Baltimore Ravens, 31-28. Blown lead in the fourth quarter for the Ravens. Another loss they should have won, a game they had control of. And again, bad offensive play calling. And it's one of the things I like about the Ravens here is that they're not dicking around. Harbaugh knows he has one of his personal friends who he worked with in college, coaching in college, in Cam Cameron, and he's like, you know what? I'm sorry, but this is 2 inexcusable losses in a row. Get the fuck out of here. Fired him. Terminated him. So good on Harbaugh for doing that, because that's a team that is on the precipice of possibly doing something special. They really do need to get their shit together if they want to get a solid push in the playoffs, though. But again, they pretty much own the AFC North right now, so with Pittsburgh losing again, that pretty much just locks up the division for them, unless you want to see Cincinnati make a major push at the end here, but that's to be seen. Speaking of the NFC North, San Diego beating the Pittsburgh Steelers by 10 points in Pittsburgh. Now, all of you that just started harping on me every single time, even early on the season, even in my first week prediction video, that I said the Pittsburgh Steelers are no better than a 500 ball club this year. Where are you at now? That's exactly what they are. And on top of that, Mendenhall Tomlin suspends Mendenhall, so he's not even going to be playing next week because he doesn't like his position on the team, being a third-string running back, because he's been sucking and fumbling in crucial times. And Tomlin likes to take actions, likes to send messages, likes to send a message to his team so that they know who the fucking boss is, and I can respect that. As much as I hate the Steelers, I would love to see someone like Coach Tomlin on one of my teams. Holy shit. Anyway, Miami losing to San Francisco 27-13. The game looked kind of shaky, and then Kaepernick took over and he did that scramble for 60 yards for that touchdown that sealed the game. That's what I mean when he has a better play set capability than keeping Smith in the game, because I don't see Smith breaking off a 50-plus yard run in the end of the game to win it for the 49ers. I think Harbaugh made the right decision to go with the other Harbaugh, John and Jim. Anyway, made the right decision to go with Kaepernick over Alex Smith. That's for damn sure. In the one of two what the fuck happened here games of the week, New Orleans loses to the Giants 52-27. Holy shit. Oh my god, I knew the New Orleans defense was bad, but my god, giving up a 52 spot? That's brutal. Anyways, the Giants win another game. They pretty much have locked up the NFC East. In the ultimate holy shit what the fuck happened here game of the week, Arizona loses to Seattle 58-0. What more else is there to say than this? I mean, my god. It's nice to see a young quarterback like Wilson, someone who no one really had, along with Foles too. Those two young rookie quarterbacks were two quarterbacks going into this year. Everyone was like, yeah, we might not see much of anything from these guys, whatever. But Foles being a later round pick compared to Wilson, of course. But put up a goose egg against Arizona, and Arizona, guess what? You now have a losing streak that's continuing past the Eagles' losing streak because the Eagles won. So now you get to be the laughing stock of the league. Ha 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 ha. But my team sucks, so it's not really worth much laughing at. Anyway, Detroit again cannot win at Lambeau Field. My God, it's been I think it's literally been about 2,000 years. I think Jesus was at the last game where Detroit actually won at Green Bay, and Jesus had to perform a miracle to get Detroit to actually win at Lambeau Field. But anyway, that was your Sunday Night Football game of the week, played in slop, and in what should have been one of the best matchups of Monday Night Football all year turned out to be one of the most one-sided affairs. The New England Patriots beat the Houston Texans 42-14. This game was over by the first quarter. This game was over on that first drive when Houston forced that fumble. Muffed trying to pick it up and let the Patriots pick it up, and then Brady passes in for a touchdown right after that. Boy, I know I picked Houston to go in the Super Bowl and all, but other than the Broncos, who have they beat this year? I mean, yeah, they beat the Bears in that shitfest game with the wind and rain on Sunday Night Football a couple weeks ago. But other than that, I mean, the Texans have just been really beating up the no one care teams of the league. Anyway, all right, going into the Week 15 predictions, let's just knock this video out real quick. It's getting kind of cold here. Not that it's much warmer at my house because there's no fucking power there. Cincinnati at Philadelphia. Again, this is another road team coming in with a 4.5 point favorite. Eagles are a home dog again, and rightfully so. Cincinnati is playing significantly better football right now. Philadelphia is too ravaged with injuries, but you know what? I'm watching this game to see what Bryce Brown can do. I'm watching this game to see if Nick Foles can progress his game anymore. I'm watching this game to focus on the positivity. And again, one of the main reasons why I didn't focus on the negatives, like, yeah, I still want Andy Reid fired. Yeah, Asamoah still sucks ass. I could reiterate all that, but you've heard me bitch about that the 8 preceding weeks. I'm going to talk about the positives. When my team does a positive thing like a win, I'm going to talk about the positives. But again, the negatives are still there, so let's just keep it real. Reid, you still got to go at the end of the year. That's the one thing I'm going to say. I see Cincinnati winning this game. I see the Eagles barely beating Tampa. I mean, they had a 10-point lead in that game, blew it, ended up being down by 11 points, and then had that monster comeback in the end where Nick Foles looked great on those final 2 drives. I don't see him pulling off something like this because that Tampa secondary was just so weak. I mean, the Tampa secondary is arguably weaker than the Philadelphia Eagles, if that gives you perspective. It's a horse race between the two of them. Cincinnati is nowhere near as weak as Tampa is in the secondary, so I don't see Foles passing on him as much as he did. He racked up over 380 yards on Tampa. You'd be lucky to see him break 300 this week. Anyway, I see Cincinnati winning there. Giants at Atlanta. I see the Giants winning this game. I think Atlanta is honestly shook right now. I think they know that they've barely been winning games. They've been winning games, yes, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. But I think they're shook. They just got beat by a bottom feeder team like the Panthers that the Eagles almost beat a couple weeks ago. It tells you how good the Panthers are. Anyway, I see the Giants winning this game. Denver at Baltimore. I would pick Denver to win this game, but Peyton Manning just struggles against the Ravens. He usually doesn't do too good. Baltimore's at home, new offensive coordinator. They're looking to make a statement. They've lost 2 games in a row. They're going to come out with passion and fire, and they're going to whoop that Denver ass. But if Denver wins this game, they're a Super Bowl contender, hands down. There's no one that can't say that. No one. All right, someone out there will still say it. Anyway, Girlfiend, will they be a Super Bowl contender if they win?
I don't know. I don't listen to you.
Okay.
This is boring.
Green Bay at Chicago. Another solid NFC North matchup here. Boy, I see this as a coin flip game. I'm just kidding. Green Bay's going to win this game. Chicago is shook. Chicago is another shook team. And again, Green Bay is actually the favorite in this game. 3 points Vegas has given them. So yeah, to come in and be the home dog, Chicago, that shows you how far they've fallen. They've come from being the elite in the conference down to you're going to be a home dog. Anyway, look for Green Bay to win that game. Washington at Cleveland. This is all if whether or not RG3 plays, but you know what? I'm going to pick Washington either way. I just seen an NFC team excel that used to be just such a bottom of the barrel team. I just got to come to grips with that, and then see my Eagles be that bottom of the barrel team. Indianapolis at Houston. Vegas has Houston as the 8-point favorite in this, and I gotta tell you, I don't know what the odds makers in Vegas were watching or what the betting trends are, but I see Indianapolis winning this game. I see them winning rather easily, in all honesty. I know it's at home, and Houston's played good at home, but again, who has Houston beat that was an impressive win other than Denver? And they beat Denver early on the season before they went on this tear the past 6-7 weeks. So anyway, look for Indianapolis to go into Houston to win. Jacksonville at Miami. Look for Miami to win at home in the battle of Florida teams, which is the who cares bowl of the week. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Both teams now are out of playoff contention, so who cares? New Orleans will win that one. Minnesota at St. Louis. Both teams in playoff contention. Who would have thought that this would have been a very serious pay attention type game? Whoever wins this game is going to be a very serious wild card contender. That's a huge game for both teams here. And you know what? I like that St. Louis defense shutting down. I like that front four shutting down Adrian Peterson. I like St. Louis to win this game. Detroit at Arizona. Oh, Arizona. Welcome to double-digit losses in a row. Detroit, Stafford is going to pass all over that piss-poor secondary. Oh, my God. Stafford probably will go for 450. Pass for 450 yards. Yeah, I said it. Seattle at Buffalo. Seattle's going to win this game. Again, I had Buffalo picked as a wild card contender, but I see Seattle winning this one. Carolina at San Diego. Yeah, two teams that don't have anything at stake. I see Carolina winning on the road. And I see Carolina just basically finishing out their season strong and making people wonder, wow, what happened to the first half of their season? Anyway, I know Girlfiend's going to make noises. That's
I'm bored.
Oh, well, we're talking.
I have nothing to do in the car.
Don't make me get you back in the trunk. Oh, wait, I don't have a trunk. Where was I? Kansas City at Oak. Oh, Carolina's winning on the road in San Diego. Kansas City at Oakland. Look for Kansas City to win here. The Raiders just suck, but then so does Kansas City. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of saying I want Kansas City to win so that if the Eagles do lose, Kansas City gets more wins in the potential draft. Who cares? I'm not that root for that. But anyway, Pittsburgh at Dallas. This is a coin flip game as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, Mendenhall is suspended. Pittsburgh looked like the wheels are falling off the proverbial wagon last week. How they don't beat a San Diego team at home, where San Diego has just been abysmal this year at best. Dallas is just a terrible, and this is the thing. I guarantee you, there will be near as many Pittsburgh Steelers fans in that crowd as there is Dallas Cowboy fans. Both in Dallas and Washington, they have this trouble with building too big a fucking stadium that they can't sell out their tickets to home fans. So, like you get last week, you saw a ton of purple shirts in the crowd rooting for the Ravens at the DC game, and I guarantee you, you're going to see terrible towels waving the whole game because Pittsburgh is going to come there and represent because their fans travel well, but on top of that, there's plenty of tickets available when you build a stadium that holds 2 million people. Anyway, look for Pittsburgh to win on the road. San Francisco at New England. Now, this is a good game. This is basically going to decide, in my opinion, who the most elite team right now is in either conference. Now, granted, I think Denver has potential to be the most elite team in the AFC as well. But if New England wins this game and they win soundly, of course they're playing a hard team at home again, but I won't get on that. If New England wins this game soundly, they're the team to beat in the AFC. If New England loses this game, Denver is the team to beat in the AFC. I really don't see New England having a good job containing Kaepernick, but Brady is Brady, and every time I pick against him, he tends to show me up, but so fuck it, I'll pick against him again, and I'm going to say San Francisco wins on the road. Fuck you, New England. And on Monday Night Football, closing out again with another solid, impressive game, continuing the streak of the most horrible games in football history on Monday night. We have the Jets at Tennessee. Who gives a shit? Who cares? But the Jets are in playoff contention. Let's end that playoff contention. Go Tennessee. Tennessee wins at home. So, there we have it. That's our picks for the week. Again, sorry I don't have power in my house, because again, when the Philadelphia Eagles won, it shut down power in Philadelphia. So that concludes our Week 15 preview and our Week 14 review. Again, very proud of my Eagles, despite the fact that they're abysmal this season. Very proud of what they're showing, and I'm going to enjoy these positives to close out the season, and we'll look forward to this post-Reed era next year. I'm hopeful for the future. That if that's one thing I can take out of this shitbag season, is that at the end of things, I'm actually still hopeful for this team. Anything else you want to add, Girlfiend?
Can we just end this? It's getting hot in here.
Okay, fine. So take off all your clothes.
Someone's steaming up the windows.
I tend to do that in cars. Anyway,
Oops, it's not you.
No.